This is IGN. How about those Switch 2 holiday sales? Welcome to your IGN Daily Update. But first, Mission Impossible legend Tom Cruise dropped in on the set of Star Wars Starfighter via helicopter and ended up filming a lightsaber duel. Starfighter director Shawn Levy, who also helmed 2024's Marvel hit Deadpool and Wolverine, revealed Cruise's set visit as part of an interview with the New York Times and said that viewers will be able to watch the actor's work behind the camera when the upcoming Star Wars movie arrives in theaters next year. Levy joked that Cruise, who had said he just wanted to visit and watch the filming, should jump behind the camera. But Cruise took Levy's offer seriously and splashed out into a muddy pond to film a lightsaber battle between several unrevealed characters. Aside from the fact that Tom Cruise helped film some of a major upcoming Star Wars movie, something that is quite frankly notable enough, many fans have expressed surprise at this anecdote confirming that lightsaber battles will be a part of Levy's project. Now, yes, lightsaber battles in a Star Wars movie may not sound like much of a surprise, but this confirmation has still raised a few eyebrows among fans, as Starfighter has, so far at least, been pitched as something unconnected to the wider Skywalker saga's Jedi shenanigans, and rather more down to earth. Admittedly, much of Starfighter's plot remains under wraps. And Sarah Michelle Gellar, star of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, has described the franchise's upcoming new Hulu series as a continuation of the original, something that inspired its new name. Speaking on the Shut Up Evan podcast, Gellar said that the new series was best described not as a reboot or even as a full sequel, but as a continued version of the classic series that originally aired from 1997 to 2003. Saying that, however, the new episodes will come with a fresh title. It's not a sequel. It's not a reboot, Gellar said. It's a continuation. I think so, because where she is now in this world and what this world is that Buffy lives in, with her, without her, that kind of exploration, it's not a reboot. It's picking up with all the same characters right away. That's why the name was even important to me, in Buffy New Sunnydale. It's Buffy, but it's also something else. Nintendo Switch 2 sales over the holidays reportedly fell short of those recorded by the console's predecessor back in 2017 during its first end-of-year season. As revealed by the game business, Switch 2 sales in the US and within key markets in Europe fell behind the equivalent pace of Switch 1, something an unnamed senior Nintendo source blamed on, quote, a complicated economic climate today and the absence of a major Western game during the year-end period. That particular analysis will likely raise eyebrows among Nintendo fans as the company launched the long-awaited Metroid Prime 4 Beyond during the period, albeit to a more muted critical response than the franchise's beloved original trilogy. Nintendo has so far made no announcement on how that game has fared. The game business reports that US Switch 2 sales over the holiday period were down around 35% versus the Switch 1's sales performance back in 2017. In the UK, a similar comparison saw Switch 2 lagging behind Switch 1 by 16%. Even in Nintendo's homeland of Japan, Switch 2 holiday sales couldn't match Switch 1 and were down by 5.5% over the year's final 9 weeks. In France, 2025's final tally of Switch 2 sales was down by over 30% versus the amount Switch 1 notched up back in 2017, meanwhile. While these numbers may take some of the shine off of a successful first year for Switch 2 overall, it's not all doom and gloom. Switch 2's lifetime sales in Japan are still above what Switch 1 managed in its first year, with less time on sale. And in the UK, Switch 1 continued to sell well enough that it made up Switch 2's holiday sales deficit. Looking ahead, Nintendo has a smattering of first-party games already planned for 2026, including Mario Tennis Fever, Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, and Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, as well as Switch 2 upgrades for Super Mario Wonder and Animal Crossing New Horizons. There's also the From Software exclusive The Duskbloods to look forward to, and the promising-looking Pokemon Pokopia Life Sim. But as the Switch 2 prepares to celebrate its first anniversary in June, all eyes will be on Nintendo to roll out a truly new blockbuster entry in one of its biggest franchises. Back in 2017, Switch One's first year was marked by the launch of both Super Mario Odyssey and The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Nintendo has not released a major new 3D Mario platformer since, while it will soon be 3 years since the arrival of 2023's The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Switch One's other top-selling titles include Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and Animal Crossing New Horizons, and for now, there's no suggestion a big new entry in either franchise is forthcoming. Super Smash Bros. Series boss Masahiro Sakurai has only just finished work on Kirby Air Riders, while Nintendo is opting to update New Horizons for Switch 2 this year as previously mentioned. Could we see a new 3D Mario in 2026? 9 years on from Super Mario Odyssey now feels like the right time, and then there's Pokemon, which celebrates its 30th anniversary next month. Could we get a glimpse soon of the series' long-awaited 10th generation? The arrival of these titles would certainly help Switch 2 keep its momentum following last year's explosive launch. That's your IGN Daily Update. My name is Tony Jackson, and if you want more news on your favorite games and entertainment topics, make sure to visit us at IGN.com. You can also download our free app on your phone or console, and subscribe to our weekly podcast through the podcast service of your choice.
Spoken Layer.